Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Yomesh Gupta. In this video, we are going to talk about a concept that overlaps with both front-end performance and front-end system design. It's can be used in an interview or can be used in your day-to-day dev job. We will see a real-world use case from Devtools Tech platform that how we can efficiently render a large list of data. This is very commonly asked concept and commonly used also. We will also touch upon that when choosing an npm package, why we should choose it, should we opt for an in-house solution, and if we are going with a package, then what parameters should we look at. I'll show you my way. You can definitely add on to your parameters, and it should be a fun video. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So let me show you the problem statement here. So let's say we are on the login page of DevTools Tech platform. I log in right now. I'm trying to log in. I should add a loader here. It is logging, but we don't see any update. But now when we are on the feed, right now it's a very crude implementation that everything is dumped on front end. If you try to scroll, it feels a bit janky. Like I'm not sure if you can see in the video, but when I try to scroll it, there is a certain lag and there is a lot of data here and different type of data like iframes and YouTube videos and different type. So it feels a bit janky to me that when I try to scroll, there is a bit of lag, and maybe I have a powerful device, but for a user who might not be on such a powerful device, it will feel a bit more janky because the thread is blocked and it's taking a lot of time to scroll. So how can we improve this? Now this is our problem statement, and if you look at it, like if I show you here, like this is a div, like this is a item, feed item. Like if I scroll this into view, this is a feed item. So we have this, looks like we have so many nodes, so many DOM elements here, and this is just one part. Tomorrow the feed size might increase. Right now let's say there are 100 items, there could be 1000, 10,000, I don't know. So how can we optimize this? So this is our problem statement here. So let us note it down. So what do we feel? Feels a bit janky. We have too many DOM nodes, and the feed size might vary. Like tomorrow it could be 10,000 items and so on. Now when you encounter such a problem statement in your day-to-day job or even in an interview setting, the don't start just giving answers right away, right? Because xyz library or xyz solution, just try start giving out. Understand, gather the requirement and understand the system what you are building. So in our case, let's gather some requirements here. What is our requirements? So if we see, we have different type of data here. Like we have youtube videos loaded via iframe. These are lazy loaded. Then we have questions, different type of data, we can say different type of items. It could be a question, it could be a resource submission, or a video. Now another thing, if you would notice here, is that they are of different sizes. That this question here takes, let's say, 100 pixels, and this one might take 300 pixels. So what this is an important aspect here, that different sizes, different items with varied sizes, let's say. So there is no fixed length, fixed size for an each item. So it is an important to note down, and it can increase. Let's say tomorrow there are too many uh, labels here, so this size might increase. Maybe we add a bunch of more CTAs and it increase more information, description, and so whatnot. So this is the primary requirement we have, like varied sizes, we have different type of items we have. And now what solution can we have here? Maybe let's talk about solutioning. The first thing that comes to my mind is, can we have paging paginated data from backend? That might solve it. Like rather than dumping so much data, we have some infinite loader or some next button like we have on different screen. Right now, as the system is built in such a way that there is no pagination possible. So the simple answer is no. So next is, how to optimize large list rendering on client side. So this is our problem here, and this is the solution, or this is the $1 million question here. So now let's take a look at how we can optimize this. We know that we do not have any pagination, so we have to do it on client side. So one technique to optimize large lists on client side is what we call virtualization. Basically, the simple idea here is that you have a window, or and that window is basically of fixed size. Now, behind this window is your list of data, like this list that we see on our page right now. And this window remains fixed, and we only render the items or the content that is currently present in that window. As we scroll, then the data, so let's say there was a list item here which moves out of the window. As soon as it moves out, the content on the window is replaced with the new content. So these libraries, we will check out different libraries. What they do is that they render a large div, let's say a div or large container with the exact height. Now they know that at what height what item will appear, and they keep on listening to scroll. Now as we scroll up, or as we scroll up and down, they know that what is the current height, what is the current offset, and based on that they calculate which items should appear on the screen. And as they know, they render it on the screen and replace the nodes on the go. So that is the basic concept behind virtualization, and this is done by different libraries like React Window, React Virtualization, I think React Virtuoso, something, that's the name. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. But let's start implementing this. So now, like I mentioned, that we are going to use an npm package, and we have two options. Either we can go with React Window or React Virtuoso here. Now, how would I evaluate a library? These are some of the parameters on which I would personally evaluate. Now, before that, there is one more question: that should we go for an in-house solution or should we go for the npm package? My take on that is that depending on what is the problem statement. In this case, the concept of windowing, implementing it seems easy, but the actual implementation of, implementing some like a virtualization library is comparatively hard, and it will delay your go to market. So it's better to use a better tested product that is already available in the market, unless you have some big company constraints. So in that case, I will opt for a third party solution of the cell solution, because I need to deploy as soon as I can. So how would I evaluate that third party solution? For me, uh, let's say maintenance and updates is one of the important factors. The bundle size, like how much my bundle size is going to increase. Project compatibility, let's say I'm using React with SSR, so is that library compatible with that? Because some libraries, they don't work with SSR, some are only client side, or some other issues. Next is developer experience or ease of use, how easy it is to use that library. I don't want to spend so multiple weeks just figuring out the API, and once I implement it, then anyone who is coming to the project, they should be easily able to pick it up. Now another parameter should be legal review, license review, like what type of license that library offers. Can we use it in a commercial product? Do we need to attribute them? Do we need to make our project open source just to use this library? You can sync with your legal team or whatever team you have in your organization to walk through talk about this. Next is security. You can see if there are any open issues. You can read reviews about the library, check out the issues and other things, and open PRs. And the last thing is project specific parameters. Maybe my project has some unique parameter, like varied sizes. Maybe your project contains fixed size items, so you might not require that complex of a solution. So that is project specific. Right now the status of each state or each parameter is evaluating. So let's check it out. Let's check out this library which I just mentioned. If you see here, we have, I'm just going to give you a very brief overview of this. So right now we can see that there is around 8 lakhs, I think, because it's refresh. Yeah, 841,000 weekly downloads, and last published version was on 14 days ago. So seems pretty good to me to use. So for me right now, you can go and check if maintainer activity on GitHub. You can check how responsive they are to issues and PRs. are they merging on time and everything. You can do that, but for me, I have seen these things, so I'll just mark it as passing. Next is bundle size. So I'll go to bundle phobia. I will take this library. I'll copy this. I'll paste. Let's see. So after minified and gzipped, it is 17.9 kb. I think it gives suggestions also. Right now it's not giving, but it's going to add 20 milliseconds to 4G, and 3G is around 350 milliseconds. Now it could, some might consider it high, some might consider it low, depending on the project, but right now I'm going to go with it. There is an option to go with a, library like React Window, which is comparatively less in size. If we check React Window, it is roughly 6 kb if I remember exactly. It's loading. I don't know why it's taking so much time. But right now I am going with this one. I'll show you later on why I'm going with this one. For me, 17 kb is good enough. My internet is working fine, so I don't know, something wrong with bundle phobia. So coming back here, now the project compatibility, this is a React library, and I am using React. So, and I have seen already, we can also figure it out while implementation, but I know that this works with SSR. So I'll mark it as passing. Developer experience, this is we'll figure out when we start implementing. Legal review, this library, if we see right now, is MIT license, which should be good enough for my project, but you can definitely check it out depending on your project. And security, I did check this, there were no issues as of now, so I'll consider it passing. And if you have any project specific requirements, you can note them down in your checklist and check as per that. So yeah, React Window is back at 6.4 kb, but you have to use a couple of more things with this, like React, like, but I'm still not going with it. I'll show you later why I'm not going with React Window for my particular use case. So let's take a look at the API of this package and start implementing. So I'll go to this package. Let's say what it's doing. We are importing the component, and then we are passing some style, the data which we need to render, and this method called item content. So the first uh, parameter is index, and the second one is item that we're going to render. Okay, so I've already installed this package, so let me just import this. What was the name? We'll import this from the package. Yeah, we have this. Okay, good. Now if we see our code right now, we are rendering an array. We are just iterating over it, and depending on what the content is, we are rendering the particular component. So let me take it out. Let me create a component called item. It's going to take the item, and it's going to take the current user right now based on what requirement we have. Let me remove this. We have the code here. So we don't need the array looping, because that is done by the package itself. So let me take this out. Now in this case, what we are going to do is that we'll say content null for now, and if it's we have the question ID, then content will become this, else it will become a resource, else it become a submission, and last one would be this one. So we'll take this out, and we will return, let's say we'll return a div, and inside this we'll have the content. Let's add a bit of padding here, or let's say margin bottom 10 pixels right now. And inside our flex component, we are going to import, or we are going to invoke it. We'll pass the style as height, because they were passing the height too as the 100% view height. We need the data would be items, then we need item content, which will take the index and the item, and we'll pass the current user also right now. So I think that should be good enough. We have everything. Let me go back here. See, it is refreshed, the screen is refreshed. Now if I scroll, So it's not, yeah, because now we are not using window scroll, so this is not, working as it is. But if I go inside and if I scroll, then we have all the components here. And if I show you the implementation, let me show you the DOM elements also. Earlier we saw in the demo that we have so many DOM nodes, but right now if we see, this is our entire list. And inside the, this is, if you see item list here, this is the container, and we just have 5 elements right now. And if I scroll, then my DOM nodes are changing, but I just have only 5 DOM nodes now. They are replacing, the library is replacing, and it is comparatively much smoother in scroll, because we just need to load those 5 items. But can we make it better? Because right now it is having this internal scroll bar and the window scroll is not working. So I think in this library we have an option which is called use window scrolling. Yeah, so we'll pass this prop and it will use the window scroll. So I'll go here, I'll pass this prop, and I'll come back here. Now it will refresh. See, now it is refreshed, and now my window scroll became large. If you can see, like I told you initially, that it renders the entire list, but this is my window, the as in it renders the entire height, and this is my window. And as I scroll now, based on my window scroll, my elements are keep on changing. And if I show you the DOM node now, let me go back, select this. So this is my list item. We just have 3 nodes here. I mean, we can configure how many nodes we want, but right now it's much faster, much smoother right now in terms of performance, and in terms of perceived performance, like it feels faster. That is which we talked about in one of our last videos also. And the DOM nodes are just limited. Compare, earlier we used to have 100 DOM nodes or 200 DOM nodes. Now we just have 4, or depending on, it keeps on increasing and decreasing based on the viewports, how many items are there in the viewport. And it's comparatively much faster. So if we come back to our list and check, then in terms of developer experience, I would say it is passing, because we just imported this component, passed a bunch of props, and it starts working. And if you remember our requirements, we had a lot of varied sizes items, and this library take cares of that out of the box. So that is one of the reasons why I picked this over the React window. Because from in React window, if we go to React window, this library, now this gives you different option like fixed size or variable size list and so on. In fixed size, you have to pass the size of each item. Like if you see the rows here, they are all fixed size. But if you go to variable size list, in that case you have to pass a function. This gets item size, and this will return you what is the size of individual items, individual row basically in this case. So we have to tell that in advance. But in my case, I did not want to go through that much of a hassle, because the difference is just 10 kb or so in terms of size. So I opted for this library. It gives me this support that I just need to pass my components no matter what's the size is, and it is faster. The Like if we go back to our checklist, it is maintained and we are getting updates. The bundle size is not that huge. It is compatible. My project is SSR on Remix. It is works fine. You can see in terms of developer experience also, it was easy to use, just import and right away. MIT license good enough. I did not find any security issues. For me, project specific was the varied sizes of the items and different types of items, and it just works out of the box. So depending upon that, my POC is done. It's good enough. I can now just commit and ship it right away. So this is the end of the video. I hope you were able to learn something new today. If you want to learn more things about front-end system design, and the thought process I showed you, what's my decision making framework look like, and other high level design tips and tricks, then you can buy my front-end system design guide. It focuses on HLD more rather than LLD, because LLD you can research and all. Plus in my updated versions I will talk about LLD too, but you can go to devtools.tech/fsd guide to check that out. Plus, if you want to talk about more or if you want to book a session with me, you can go to topme.io/Umesh Gupta. As always, if you see value in this content, then please do like, share, and subscribe. So, till next time, see you. Take care. Bye bye.